Hello everyone, today is a slightly different one. I'm getting really into doing sublimation at the moment and I wanted to share some projects I made with you and share some of the items that I've been using to do that. One of the things I got this week were these sublimation ornaments from PYD Life. So they sent them to me for free. I've had a few things from them before and they seem to be really good quality and really great for sublimating. I also bought these ones here on the left, the white ones, which you'll see in a minute. I bought those myself because I wanted some white ones. But I've got these clear glass ones from PYD Life, and that's what I'm going to use for half the video today. And then at the end, I'm going to share some other projects I worked on. But today I'm going to take you through the step-by-step process of how I kind of go about doing some sublimation and what you sort of need for doing it. So we're going to start with the design. Okay, so this is the Creative Fabrica website. Now I stumbled upon this because I was searching up things that I could print out. I was looking up in particular 3D graphics that I could use on Tumblers. And I've seen this pop up on a few different crafty YouTubers that they have used this as well. It's really, really cheap. So I haven't bought it yet because I get a month free, but I am virtually on the edge of buying it anyways because I've loved it. So what happens is it's works out to $3.99 a month. And as far as I can tell, because I did look into it, it's either £47 if you're over here in the UK. It's also $47 if you're in America. So that's really cheap for an entire year. And I can't tell you, there's like millions and millions of like things on here to look at. So I have played with this now for 4 days and I'm so happy with it. I burned through my freebies. So you get the trial for a month for free and then you get 10 free downloads. And you can, if you are sneaky, so I went into images and if you look on the images, sometimes you can get an SVG, you can get a bundle. So you can see here there's like an SVG bundle or you can get a single image, or this one does say 30. So there's ones like this one here is a single image. So you don't want to waste your 10 freebies on just individual images. I made sure to pick things that I really wanted that came as a bundle. So just as a heads up, if you are going to do the free 30-day trial and get your 10 free images, the bundles are included as one image. So I was looking up 3D Tumblr. Oh no, 3D sublimation. That's what I was doing. 3D sublimation Tumblr. And then you get all these images. So it shows you the Tumblr and it shows you what it's like. But this is kind of what I was looking for. I wanted to do things like this where it looks really 3D and really cool. So I did use my 10 images already. And so that's why I'm going to purchase the year membership because then I can just do unlimited downloads. But if you don't want to do that, I have found the freebies section. So it's over here. It says freebies. There's free fonts, free SVGs, graphics, embroidery, classes. So this stuff all here you can explore for the month for free as well. If you don't sign up for the yearly pass, then you can also just buy the images outright that you want to use. But I think the pass is really cheap, so that's what I'm going to go for. But yes, I'm really impressed with all this. I've got a link down in the description box as well for you. If you click that link, it will take you to the website and then you can have a look and see if you want it or not. I think I do get a small commission if you do. So just be aware of that, but it doesn't affect the price. The price is exactly the same. Oh, and top tip. I don't know if it's the same in America or not, but here in the UK, we have a thing called VAT, which is VAT. It's our tax, and our tax is usually added into the price. However, on this website, it says £47 a year, but it is actually works out to £56, I think, because VAT is added on at the end when you go to pay. So I went to the end and I was like, what is going on here? And so I opened the invoice and then saw that they were adding VAT onto the price. So top tip, just brace yourself for that. It's still a great price, but that did shock me a bit. Okay, so getting back to the free stuff, you can go into here, you can go into patterns, files, graphics, and graphics is the one that I spent hours on. So when you go into free design resource, check out this number here, showing 1 to 36 of 336,469 results. There's a lot in here for free. Now, the thing that I struggled with is this, if I typed in what I was looking for, I didn't really get much of what I was looking for. So be aware of that. If you search for something like watercolor washes or watercolor splashes like this, you might not even get this image when you search. So I just kind of scrolled through everything. I've downloaded that one. I've downloaded that one. I've downloaded that one. I got that one. I went to town on this and I had a lot of fun, but literally I haven't even got halfway through because there are 300,000 images that are free. But again, the ones that I really want are the 3D ones. They're not in here. I couldn't find them anywhere. But you can look, you can get a mega SVG bundle. So if you're doing sublimation, if you're doing cut files and stuff, there's a whole bunch in here for you. So yeah, it's quite cool. There's quite a lot to explore, and obviously anything with glitter, it just gives you that kind of glitter impression. But it's a really, really cool website. I've been really, really happy with it. I did some of the classes as well. I thought I would try that out. Now, let me show you. I've got them stored. So if I go into my documents where I put them, and they're all just here. Look at all these bad boys. That was only yesterday. And then previous 7 days, look at all of them. When I tell you, I went for it. I really did go for it. Yeah, I'm really impressed with this Creative Fabrica. And for £47, well, £56 a year, it's quite good value for money. So I'm going to sign up once I start work again next week, and then kind of explore a bit more, mostly because of the graphics stuff. But there is absolutely hundreds and hundreds of free digital papers that you can print out. Loads of SVGs if you like to do vinyl or sublimation, anything like that. There's just absolutely tons on here to play around with. So I'm sure I'll mention this again in a video, but this is a quick little summary of how this website works. So once I've got all my images, I obviously go into the folder where I save them. So these are all saved from Creative Fabrica, and they were one of my free bundles. So I got the whole bundle of 3D ornaments. What I do is I go ahead and I place them onto a Word document, or in my case, a Pages document, because I have a MacBook. And then I can go ahead and create it and make it into the size I want. So you could select all your images if you're doing all the same sort of image, and then change the size on all of them. But I go into this format setting, to the arrange setting, and then I can go ahead and change the size of my image. So I just clicked on my deer one just so I could see what the size was, because I couldn't remember, and 7.6 is what the instruction booklet said that the image needed to be. So I just resize it to that. And then obviously you can take other images. So I used some photos. I used a graphic that was one of the free graphics from the website, and you can take anything and just stick it on there, as long as the base part of where you're going to sublimate is going to be the size, 7.6 in my case, then it will work out. So I just wanted to share with you, this is kind of what I did. Then I go in and I set my settings according to what I have found makes my colors pop. And for me, I have got an Epson ecotank printer. So I've got a bog standard ecotank printer that I have put sublimation ink in instead of regular ink. So my printer came from Costco. I bought it when it was on offer for about £100. And then I bought sublimation ink, which is around £20, and filled it with sublimation ink. Now this ink will last me about 4,000 colored prints probably. My printers just last for ages and ages and ages, and I just do a print head clean when I haven't used it in ages. So this printer was about £100. Filled it with sublimation ink, not regular ink. And that's really important. If you're doing sublimation, it needs to be this kind of creamy colored looking ink that you put into the tank, not normal ink. So you can use a regular printer and use sublimation ink in it to print sublimation prints, but you cannot take an old printer and convert it to sublimation. That's not going to work. It's going to be really difficult to do that. So this is my printer printing. This is how slow it goes. It's not fast at all. If you want it on a high quality print, you need to let it go slowly. Now I'm going to follow the instructions on the booklet and set my heat press on the right temperature and time. Obviously mine's in Celsius, so I converted it to Celsius. You can switch your heat press to do Fahrenheit as well, so that if it's easier. And mine doesn't go above about 200 seconds, so I just set it to 120 and then do it twice because it needs 240 seconds as time. Now, you don't need to have a heat press to do this. You could use like a regular iron. It's just a bit harder to control the temperature, and you have to get the right kind of pressure as well on your ornaments, but you can experiment and do that. I did try with a regular iron and tried to do it. However, I didn't like that it was kind of coming out a bit blotchy in areas, but it is possible. I just didn't have the patience, and I had heat presses, so I decided to use my heat press instead. Now, these glass ornaments have a frosted side and a shiny clear side. So you want to put them face down, as in like the frosted side is going to go down because that's got the sublimation coating on it, and that's what's going to transfer your image. So all I do here is take my sheet. You can either cut them out individually or you can just leave them all together if you're going to do it together. Just be aware that that ink will bleed, so you need to put some kind of protective film on the top and the bottom to make sure that the excess ink that is sticking out from outside of underneath that ceramic ornament isn't going to damage your heat press or your heat press mat if you've got one of those. Now, the tape I'm using is heat resistant tape, and it's very cheap and affordable to buy, but you do need to have heat resistant tape, otherwise it will shrivel and curl in your heat press or under the heat pressure. All I'm doing is then placing my ornaments down. I find it a bit easier if I take out the mat. So this is the mat that comes in my heat press. I find it a bit easier to take that out and just have a flat surface. Otherwise, sometimes I feel like I get a little bit of a blotchy kind of coverage when I do press it. My window is open here, you'll see in a second, because you want to have a window open because you do get some fumes, like very mild fumes, but it's best to have a window open. I'm going to place them face down so that the ornament is right there underneath that piece of paper. And then I'm going to put another piece of paper over the top. You can use copy paper, you can use baking paper, as long as it is not wax coated or have any kind of coating on it, you can use that. Here you can see my windows open, and it was a really windy day, which was kind of annoying, but I wanted to have that fresh air in. I also want to mention as well that you do need to print on a special paper. So you need the special ink and you need the special paper. The paper that I use is a sub paper. I will link everything I've used in the description box below. Can't link the printer because it's not available, and I got it on Costco. But I use a sub printer paper, and that paper is what absorbs the sublimation ink and allows the ink to react with the item that you are sublimating. So sublimation is like a heat transfer ink. So when you print it out on your printer, it will come out dull and kind of bland, but once you run it through your heat press and you add heat to it, it kind of melts that ink into the item that you're using. So you have to have sublimation products. You cannot use just bog standard mugs. You can't use bog standard ornaments. They have to be sublimation specific, or that ink will not stick to it. These are all things I've learned along the way. I plan to do some more sublimation videos because I really enjoy doing it. But how cute are these? Now, the downside to these is that they are clear. On the website on Amazon where you can buy them from, it does give you the impression that they have a white backing and that they pop off naturally, but they are completely see-through. So you can see them best when you put them onto a white background. This one didn't work out quite right. I don't think the pressure was too good on my son's head. And also that's a comical photo, by the way, that he loves cracking faces. So it wasn't a serious photo of him. It was just a fun one that I was doing for his grandma. Here are the other ones that I bought off of Amazon. These ones are white sublimation ornaments. You can sublimate on both sides of them. And you obviously don't have to worry about the back of them because they're not see-through. Now, this one kind of got stuck in the printer a little bit, but it doesn't matter. Rosie's face is still fine. I can still sublimate onto that. I'm going to do the exact same thing, just line them up over top of my images and make sure that the little circle, the hole is at the top. And then how great did these come out? And they're not see-through, they're solid white. So it depends on what you're looking for, what you want in something that you're sublimating, whether you want a clear ornament, whether you want a solid white one, whether you want it to be double-sided or single-sided. I've got more examples coming up of what I've made with them. But sublimation can be quite a lot of fun and can get quite addicting quite quickly. I did make probably about 20 of these clear ornaments, and then I made I think I used all of my ceramic ornaments, the solid white ones, because I got really into it and had a lot of fun. Now I'm sharing with you on the screen slightly different versions of these ornaments because it does matter on your settings. It matters what settings you set your printer on, and sometimes it takes a few goes to work out what will work best and what will look best. So I did have a few duds, but that's part of the learning curve, and these worked out to be about £1 roughly each. So you can see the color difference here between the left and the right. And then when I bring in this third one, you can really see that color difference pop. So this is a really good example of using different print settings on your printer. So the one on the left was a standard setting. The one on the right, I selected a more vibrant setting on the printer. So here you can see it's clear, it's completely see-through. So when it hangs on your tree, you'll be able to kind of see through it. Whereas the white ones, you're not going to obviously see through them at all. I'll link them both down below for you in the description box. But here's one that's the ceramic one. In comparison, this again was the wrong kind of setting and I didn't press it for hot enough for long enough. But as I carried on, they just got more vibrant and better. So that one on the right is absolutely stunning. You can see that blue really popping through and looking amazing. And I think this is so stinking cute. And I love the 3D effect that you can get from these designs, which I obviously did not make. I just borrowed the rights to using that website. So again, on the left, I didn't press it for hot enough. So it came out a bit foggy, and on the right is completely clear. So here are the differences between them. You have a solid image and then the clear one. So it's all personal preference and what you like, but these are quick and easy to make. And if you have a sublimation printer, it's going to last you forever and do a ton of prints. So for me, it's well worth it because I have a lot of fun doing these kinds of things. Again, here you can see the differences in playing with different settings and the vibrancy you get. Sadly, the one on the right that I like the most, I didn't have the right temperature. Again, this was the same batch. That one on the left was not the right temperature. This was a picture of my son, by the way. That was my husband made him in color and the background in the sepia color. So that's why the background looks so funny. And then here are some little ornaments I made. Again, that middle one wasn't the correct temperature, but I had a lot of fun making these little cute ornaments. And this was another bundle that I bought, that I got for free on the Creative Fabrica website. And then this one, again, just the differences between color settings and pressure and heat, but you can have a lot of fun with them. This was another design I got that you can alter and you can add text onto, so I could make personalized ones. So these were kind of my experimenting, playing, and I used an actual iron for a couple of them and it didn't quite work out. Whereas this one here, absolutely perfect, managed to nail it, and I did the backside. So I'm hoping to make a few of these for friends, but I've got to buy some more of these ornaments because I've run out. But I'm hoping to make a few of these for friends that I can give to them for Christmas with their family's names on it and their kids' names. So a lot of fun, lots of things that you can do with a sublimation printer. And I'm happy to do more of these kinds of videos and just share what I get up to, share some of the settings. If you have questions, stuff like that, you can pop them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them. I still am learning. This is still a learning curve for me. So I've got a long way to kind of go, but it is a fun project to work on. I've also done a bunch of mugs and I really had a hard time with the mugs because I was really, really struggling. This is what I did first before I got into the ornaments. I went through about 14 mugs wasted, all because the black ink wasn't working and I did not twig that. I did post on a Facebook group. You can see my coffee in there. I posted on a Facebook group looking for some help and advice, and I did have quite a few people say check your print settings, and I did do the print test sheet. I didn't realize the black was missing. Once I did a deep clean of the printer, the black kicked in, and then all of a sudden my mugs were coming out amazing. And I got this big bundle of these cat prints. There's about 20 altogether, and I am now filling my cupboard with cat mugs and having a lot of fun. I did some coasters as well. These are PYD Life coasters that I got last year. These are now my son's. He's claimed them along with that red cat mug. He absolutely loved it. I did him a couple bookmarks as well. This is one that didn't turn out right, and this is all because of black ink. This is supposed to be a baby pink and a bright blue, and it came out a very funny color. This one also did not have any black, so the black was replaced by like a brown. So I kept thinking I was burning my mugs, but actually I didn't have black ink showing up on my printer. So it does take some trial and error, and there are some frustrating moments, but for me, it's loads of fun. And you can get sublimation mugs for quite a decent price. They're about £1.50 online, so on Amazon, and there's another company I used in the UK. I'll link them below. But these are my sublimation mug prints that I've got ready to go to do the rest of the mugs in this collection. The prints are super cute, and again, they're really dull to look at and kind of faded, but once you put them onto the mug and that heat is added, I have a mug press, which is what I'm using for these. All those colors will just burst off the mug. So here, this is where I didn't have the black ink and it's really dull, but you can see there's so many more colors in that print. I wish I'd done the mug for you to show you, but I'll do that in another video. I'll show you how I do these mug prints, but loads and loads of fun. So I hope you enjoyed this video and join me for a bit more sublimation. I have got some massive tumblers that I got sent from PYD Life, and I didn't have a way to do them because my mug press is too small. However, I found an oven on Facebook Marketplace and I got it. It's brand new and I only paid 40 quid for it. And so I'm really excited because it will fit 3 of these tumblers in there. And that's what I'm going to do next. And I'll probably do a nice little mini video for you to see how I get on with that, because you can buy just an average oven apparently and use that for sublimation as well. So see you guys all soon. Take care and I'll see you Saturday. Bye.